Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'm grateful to Puni Singh Nagi for providing me the opportunity to share my thoughts on the urban affluents. My previous speaker, Dr. Uday Kelkar, has spoken in detail about the treatment. But I will take the other side of the urban affluent. The topic of my presentation is opportunities and risks associated with urban affluent in agriculture. I have divided my presentation in 5 parts. First, I will discuss about the generation, then impacts, land water crop management strategies, remediation technologies, and policy guidelines. As discussed earlier, that there is a fresh water scarcity for agriculture because everything is controlled by the economics. The fresh water is always allocated in more and more quantities to the different sectors like the industries, drinking or municipality. So whatever we are saying that 85% of the fresh water or irrigation water is consumed by agriculture, but in coming years or in future, what will be the scenario? Scenario will be that there will be a scarcity of the water for the agriculture, and it has been pointed out that that it will be reduced from 83 to 67%. In this scenario, what is the alternative? Alternative is that we have to cope up with the marginal quality water, including the wastewater. This is our generation treatment capacity. Here we are seeing that only that complied treatment capacity is 17%, or the operational capacity is 37%. You see the scenario. So we have to cope up, or we have to deal with the untreated wastewater also. Then where to dispose of? If we dispose of the urban effluents in surface water bodies, the quality of the water will be deteriorated on the permanent basis, and it is not possible to reclaim. So in this context, agriculture or the soils are the safest sink because soil is having its own rejuvenation capacity or acts as the filter. Regarding the treatment, same is the scenario with the industrial wastewater and so on. In the future, say in 2051, we will be producing about 132 billion liters of the water. These are the characteristics we have studied. That sample is from Haryana. We have taken the samples in both the season, before monsoon and after monsoon. We found that wastewater is usually, or the urban waters are usually alkaline, low to medium salinity, and it contains about 90% water and 1% solid. In solid, 40 to 50% were organics, 30 to 40% were the inert material. We have discussed a lot about the cost. It is containing a lot of the salts, pathogen, metals, then other pollutants, and health impacts. Health impacts because of diarrhea, typhoid, ascaris, filariasis, hookworm, and so on. Because of the poor sanitation or the poor quality water use, it has been estimated that more than 2.4 million deaths are caused because of this per year. And same way that daily adjusted life years lost are estimated to be about 70 million years. But at the same time, there is an opportunity, or opportunities are also associated with the wastewater. It increases the household income, urban food supply, nutrient recycling, best thing for the disposal, greenhouse gas emission offset potential, employment. I will be discussing with these one by one. These are the problems associated with the disposal of the wastewater or the urban effluents, including that mix from the industries and as well as the urban effluents. Here we are seeing that the quality of the river Ganga water, it is containing that about 20 to 58 times more than the permissible limit of the metals in the river Ganga water at Varanasi or Kanpur. Same is the scenario with the wastewater irrigated agriculture. It is containing say 2 to 3 times of the zinc or 30 to 40%, 46 times of the nickel and so on. And same way, if we compare that DTP extractable heavy metals in the soils irrigated with these urban effluents and non-urban effluent or the fresh water, you can observe that contents in the soil. So if we use untreated wastewater or urban effluents, then it is going to pollute or deteriorate the quality of the water or the soil resources. Same is true with the pathogens. Apart from this, there is also a average daily physiological weight loss or average daily decay loss, and almost 80% of the diseases in developing countries are associated with the water, causing 3 million years per death. Same with this data is from the Musi River, Hyderabad. Here we have observed that even that metals have gone to the animal milk, and there are some reports that even the metals above the permissible limit is also found in the human milk. This is the scenario. Opportunities associated with the urban effluent. In India, about 2 million hectares is irrigated by using the urban effluent. That comes to be 3% of the net irrigated areas. If we are able to exploit the urban effluents, the nitrogen or phosphorus or the other nutrients present in that, we can save 4 million tons of the nutrients. That comes to be 13% of the total fertilizer use. And same way, it generates 280 million man days of the labor, and it can offset the greenhouse gas emission by 74 million ton carbon dioxide equivalent per year. Then we had a 8-year-old experiment to find what is the optimum or what is the suitable cropping system. Why the farmers are taking the vegetable production system, the peri-urban agriculture. We try to analyze, and how much of the nitrogen and phosphate fertilizer can be saved. Or here we took the 4 types of the cropping system, like the grain-based, fodder-based, vegetable-based, and agroforestry system. We've observed that there is an increase in the crop productivity, and it was found to be 14 to 28%. Similarly, that's 60, 67, 25 or 80% of the nitrogen and phosphate fertilizer can be saved in the food grain, agroforestry, food, fodder production, and vegetable production system. Here in we are seeing that paddy wheat equivalent yields. It was the maximum in case of the vegetables. That is why the farmers are cultivating vegetable by using the urban effluents, because the nitrogen or phosphorus or the nutrients present in that wastewater, they promote the more growth of the vegetables, particularly of the leafy vegetables. And moreover, that generates the employment. And being near in the proximity of the metros, the farmers are taking the vegetable production system. Same way, we try to find that if we are treating the wastewater using conventional sewage treatment plant, a lot of the that methane or the carbon dioxide is being released. But if we use it in agriculture, maybe treated one, then a lot of the carbon buildup is there. That carbon buildup is found to be equivalent to 0.2 to 1.5 million liters of the sewage treatment. These are the different cropping systems which are being cultivated by the farmers, say in Hyderabad or Delhi or Hyderabad, Kanpur, so on. That is well known that by using the urban effluents or by exploiting the nutrient present in that, we can increase the crop production as well as the income. What should be the suitable cropping system, say silvi-horticulture system, it should contain, say, 50% of the wood trees, like the mahogany, which are salt tolerant. Cultivation decreases the environmental pollution, and same way we can have 50% of the citrus, because it was found that metals are not translocated to the juice. They are held up in the peel. Same way we found that metals are translocated in the peel of the potato. It is not going inside. So same way for the safe and sustainable technology, we should stop irrigation, say 25 to 30 days before harvesting. We should use modern methods of irrigation, conjunctive use of the sewage, and suitable cropping pattern. Then we tried to analyze different low-cost technologies. Say if we cultivate the crop on the raised beds, or if we are able to avoid the contact between the urban effluents and the crop produce, we are able to reduce the fecal coliform load tremendously. Same way that, say, three washing with the fresh water, we can bring the fecal load within the permissible limit. And the same technology that we studied that impact of the removal of the outer leaves of the cabbage. Here we are seeing that if we remove outer two leaves of the cabbage, because while purchasing the vegetables in the market, we are not knowing whether that vegetable is being irrigated with the fresh water or the urban effluent, treated or untreated. But for the precautionary measure, here I suggest that if we remove two outer leaves of the cabbage, we are in the safe zone. Same way, in case of the fodder, if we just leave the 15 centimeter part unconsumed, or if we consume the fodder which is more than 15 centimeter at the height of the 15 centimeter, that load is very low. That metals are translocated more in the leaves compared to fruits in cauliflower. Another technology can be cultivation of the medicinal and aromatic plants like the palmaroja, lemongrass, vetiver, and so on. And another strategies can be the cultivation of the different flowers, chrysanthemum, gladiolus, marigold. We found that if we take the medicinal and aromatic plants, the metals are not translocated to the essential oil. So and at the same time, here I want to suggest the policymakers. Say, if we have 1 MLD plant, and if we allocate, say, 30 hectares of the land to the non-edible crops, say medicinal and aromatic plants or the vegetables, that here the farmers are compromising with the quality of the crop or the type of the crop. They should not take the edible crops. By that way, they are compromising with the selection of the crops, and that amount of money lost should be compensated by the municipalities. By that way, we can save a lot of money which is being spent on the health issues if the crops which are non-edible are cultivated or irrigated only with in place of the food grains. Here also we try to exploit what should be the loading rate of the urban effluents in eucalyptus plantation. We found that eucalyptus plantation are potential sites for the year-round disposal of the sewage, and disposal rate is found to be 1.4 than the annual crops. This is another technology we have tested by using the turf grass and with the plastic base that can be rolled. And that below given photograph is of the Melaleuca tea tree. Here we are talking about that treatment by using this conventional sewage treatment plant. Even after the treatment, say 40 to 50% of the nitrogen phosphate remains. And if this even the treated water, conventional treated water is being disposed in the water bodies, it will lead to a lot of the eutrophication. That is why it is suggested that even after that treatment, it should be passed through the wetlands, having tea tree oils, tea tree plants. By that way, we can remove a lot of the nitrogen and phosphorus. Then we tried to compare with that. Can I take to or? Okay. Then we tried to compare with that amount of the crop lost with the untreated water, sewage water or the treated sewage water. Here we found that compared to that untreated wastewater, because a lot of the nitrogen and phosphorus has been removed, there is a loss of the yield. But at the same time, if we observe in terms of the heavy metal lot or the pathogens, that is also very less compared to the untreated wastewater use. That is why now the treated wastewater or the treated urban effluents can becomes a resource. And if that using the treated wastewater, we are generating more of the crop production compared to the groundwater. This is another technologies, constructed wetland. You can see the difference in the quality of the water. It has three components: sedimentation tank, treatment tank, then crop channel. Here we are having 2.2 MLD capacity wetland at IRA. And here that energy requirement is just 1%, zero chemical application, zero sludge, 50 to 60% of the reduced treatment cost. This is another technology we can use. Bioadsorption is other technology. We tried to analyze the potential of the different agri-waste like the sawdust, rice husk, coir pith, or rice straw. It was found that about 60 to 80% of the metals, say chromium, nickel, can be removed. Then biochar is another option for removal of the metals. Then, okay, we can, for the different plants are there for the removal of the different metals. For biotechnology can play a major role. Then these are the policy guidelines. Treatment at source. Industrial effluents should not be allowed to mix with the urban effluents at any cost, because once they are allowed to mix, they will make the composition so complex that can not be remediated or reclaimed, and the volume will be very huge. Strengthening of the sewage farm, crop restrictions I have discussed. Then wastewater, waste application techniques, modern methods of irrigation, drip, exposure control, produce water washing, rinsing, disinfection, introduction of the wastewater use permit for the farmers, regular awareness campaign, promote decentralized affordable treatment capacity, polluter pays the principal. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, sir. Sir,